Right, let's kick off the normal select board meeting at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, October 15th at the town office. We have one item to add to the agenda under new business. We're gonna vote on Marvin Luna's appointment to the Lydia Taft Pratt Board of Trustees. So we'll get to that when we get down there. First on the agenda is approving the minutes for the previous meetings. October 1st was a regular meeting, October 8th was a budget meeting. So we'll look for a motion to approve those.
I'll move to approval.
All right,
Meetings.
all right, I'll second that. Any discussion on them? Any changes, discussion, updates? All right, all those in favor of approving the meeting minutes from the regular meeting on October 1st, the budget meeting October 8th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against? All right, we got 4 warrants. Warrant 8, 8P, 8R, and Capital Fund 1.
I'll make a motion that we approve warrants for payment 8, 8P, 8R, and capital fund number 1.
I'll second it.
All right, discussion, questions. So warrant 8 is regular expenses. It's $24,686. 8P is payroll, which is about $12,300. 8R is the payment to the Bazin Brothers for the work on Jim Boyd Road. That's money that will be reimbursed from the USDA fund once the government's not furloughed anymore. $245,400. And Capital Fund 1 is $70,289 for the chassis for the approved purchase of the Ford Super Duty F550. Any other discussion? All right, so those in favor of approving warrants 8, 8P, 8R, and Capital Fund 1, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against? All right, listers. Want to step up? Be a part of the team? Do you just want us to open it?
We were right here. Yeah,
Yeah,
open it,
yeah.
please. It's the only bid we received, or, yeah.
47. I'm dating myself there.
Yeah.
Although I think everybody here would probably get that. Right?
Yeah.
Tom?
Vaguely.
Yeah. Whippersnapper. Karnak the Magnificent. It was a Johnny Carson skit.
Ah.
This has been on sealed in a jar on Pumpkin Wagon Sports.
I've heard of Johnny Carson.
I watched it with Johnny Carson. Yeah. Maybe it's for like $1,000. It'd be awesome. And then we had to keep the rest of the money. Any guesstimates? I have no idea how much these cost.
It was 95,000 last time.
All right. So this is from Ed Clodfelter.
Yeah.
Is he just a? Oh, he's NEMREC, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Currently out to 2031 is what he says. Cover letter. Updates projects that NEMREC has done. References, certification. Description of work. $118,800. Based on a parcel count of 1,048. $100 per parcel. Hearing supposed to be on bill at 50. Okay. So basically 24 monthly payments of $4,950 to get to $118,800. Do you guys want to take a look at this?
He wouldn't be able to start till 2031?
Yeah.
I think that, well, I don't know if he's saying we'll start in 31 or it will be the 30-31 grand list.
That's right. He just says we are currently out to 2031. I'm not sure what that means specifically.
Because it's a 2-year process, so I guess we'll have to read it.
Do you guys want to review it and then we can approve it at the next meeting and just make sure?
Well, we have to get our paperwork into the state
By
by, I think it was, I think we have to do it I think it has to be done this next week.
well, all right then. All right.
And it's not an option, so
All right. And we have money that's been building up over years, and I know they give us a chunk every so often.
Well, we do have money that's been building up. We will submit our budget on time next week and let you know if we feel like we need any additional funding. And then we can come and talk to you during the budget meeting.
Right.
And fill you in on why we think we do.
All right.
Yeah, there was money left over from the last round because there had been such a gap.
Yeah, that's right.
And so,
And then COVID probably didn't do it full.
Wow.
They didn't come into my house.
Yeah, but they charged a full.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. It was whatever the bid
All right.
was charged. So.
yeah. And we get money every year from the state. It's $8.50 per parcel,
Right.
which goes toward the reappraisal.
Right, I know there's a fund that's in there.
Yeah, so we'll crunch some numbers, get our budget in next
All right.
week, and then we'll come talk to you.
All right, so I'll make a motion, we approve the sole bid from Nemrick for $118,800 for reevaluation.
I'll second.
Any additional inputs or discussions? All right. All those in favor of approving the Nemrick bid for $118,800,
800.
say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Road foreman is not here. Correspond?
Throw that on one of the
Yeah,
desks
yeah.
before you leave.
Oh, sorry, Gail.
Could I say something
Yeah.
as a visitor?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Okay. I would like to invite you all to the Historical Society Fire Department meeting a week from Sunday. It would be on the 26th. It's a celebration of the fire department's 75th anniversary. We've got a wonderful exhibit over there. And if you haven't been in the Historical Society, that would be a good time to come. You can bring kids. We're going to have a program where the fire department will talk very briefly about the history, a little bit about the funding, about the change of the name, which was effective July 1st to Dummerston Fire Department instead of West Dummerston. They've changed the name on all the vehicles. I don't know that all of them have been updated yet, but on West Dummerston, it now says Dummerston Fire Department.
And they put
It's
this
got
one
rid of, okay?
The new one's here.
At Dummerston Fire Department. So they're bringing it together, and there was some controversy in that, but they're looking at the total community. The exhibit will be up actually to the end of the year, but the program should be good with some of the firefighters talking about some of their experiences, challenges, the training that's required by the state that has increased quite a bit over the years. So there's a lot to learn. So, and we would appreciate the support of both the Historical Society and the Fire Department. It's a joint effort and we're partnering in this. So if you haven't been there, please come sometime.
What was the date again on it?
The 26th, it's a week from this coming Sunday,
And the time?
2 to 4. 2 o'clock to 4. The first 15 minutes will probably be our business meeting, and then we'll go into the program.
Nice.
Yeah, it was scheduled for this week, but with Eleanor Emery's funeral, we thought we really should change it, which we did.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is this the time to talk to?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Jody.
Okay. One of the things that I'm really concerned about, and after what happened today, I happen to be standing on East-West Road, right at Ken Chamberlain's old house, which is still a Chamberlain house. I'm not sure where you know where it is. It's just beyond the entrance that goes up to the Miller farm. It's on the left. And I was standing there for a while because I was taking some photos, and the traffic that went by at unbelievable speeds, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's 25 miles an hour in that. And I know you're going to be discussing traffic speeds on dirt roads, but this town has got a real problem with speeding. And I don't know what the total answers are. I have some ideas for answers, but we need to stop this. Some of them I flagged down. I just raised my hands and flagged them down, but they didn't budge. They were flying. And we have a settlement just down there called Slab Hollow with a lot of kids and animals. And to have people flying through there and then the schools later on, this is what's happening in our town. We're just a crossover. So I think with community help, and it's going to be hard to figure out what to do, but we have to do something. And so I am begging the selectmen to really get and dig into what's going on all over town. People are just driving much too fast. So thank you for listening, but I had my life in my hands standing there taking photos, and I was off the road. So thank you for listening.
Sure. Paul Adler is kind of our law and speeding and sheriff person. I know he has ideas. He's not here tonight. I think at some point here in the near future, before the end of the year, we probably should have a little listening session working group to let people show up and throw out ideas. I mean, there's a million ideas that people are throwing out there. As you say, it seems like an inscrutable problem, and I'm not sure what the answer is. And so maybe gathering inputs from everybody will give us a starting point to figure out what options are out there and what is doable. Anyone else have any inputs on that?
I'm always in favor of putting those signs that say your speed.
Your speed,
That,
that's right.
that works with me the best.
Right.
That's my only input, Arlie.
All right. So
I think we need a lot more sheriff support, and I think we're going to have to pay for it, and we're going to have to start giving fines.
yeah, I mean, obviously that's an option. We can have more sheriffs, more hours of the month, and that's something we can talk about. As we're working on the budget, we should probably shoot for having a session maybe in early November if we're talking about dollars for the sheriff's department for the budget. Paul's been, he's not here, he's been measuring and tracking. We did pay for extra sheriff's patrols for 6 months at the beginning of this year. It'll be interesting to see what the difference in warnings and tickets and speeding was by having extra hours during those 6 months. We use some ARPA fund for that. So we'll have him gather that information and have him figure out some night that people want to get together and just throw out ideas. But I understand it's a problem, and it's a hard nut to crack.
That spot Jody's talking about, that speeds you up as you go down. And that's where a lot of people learn their kids. There are no stop signs there. A stop sign would be an easy way to slow down traffic.
Right, make that a three-way stop sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's...
Bottom of that hill would be a tough place to stop in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Sure would.
You might create more issues than
Maybe.
So those are all ideas.
Slowing the speed is definitely, a good idea.
It's a hard thing even when you're paying attention because it speeds you up.
Yeah.
But there are also kids there. It's densely packed.
Yep.
That would help as long as people do stop at the
So
stop.
we'll gather all those ideas. I'll set Paul on it when he's back from his cruise.
They were speeding before they got to that hill, Tom.
Okay. Coming from the center of town or past going towards the school? I'm trying to picture from there, you talking about speeding closer to the center of town or closer to the school?
They were speeding before they came to the hill that goes into Slab Hollow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to see.
Coming down the hill.
Going to school.
Going towards the school. Okay.
But I mean, for the schoolhouse road's 25 from 5 all the way till up over the hill. There's nowhere that it's not 25.
Yeah.
Until you get that last, third of a mile going up the hill, and then it goes to 25.
No, I'm just trying to see the spot that Jody's talking about.
She's talking about coming down the hill
Okay.
from town center.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. And they do have a zone of 35, but it turns to 25 well before the hill.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are a lot of options. I mean, why is that section 35 anyway? Just make the whole thing 25.
Right up to here.
All the way. Yeah.
I don't know that would necessarily solve the problem.
Yeah. Well, that's an endless discussion. So we'll set something up and have discussion on it.
Yeah.
Correspondence for information. I don't have...
Can I comment?
Yeah.
Can I throw my 2 cents in?
Yeah.
This is an age-old problem,
Mm-hmm.
and people have been complaining about the speed on the roads for 25 or 30 years. And enforcement, I hate to contradict my wife, but enforcement alone does not solve the problem.
Is that why you're in separate rooms?
I'm sorry?
Is that why you're in separate rooms?
That way I'm what?
You don't want to counter your wife. Is that why you're in separate rooms?
Yes. Thank you. I would recommend some discussion with Wyndham Regional Commission. They have done studies and they have done work with other towns on traffic calming. And some of the problems, the only way in my mind, and it's strictly, and it seems to work, that you're going to reduce the speed of traffic is to reduce the perception of the width of the road, or create, like a stop sign, like was suggested, or a bulb out, or a speed bump, or that kind of thing. Without those kind of either physical barriers or the perception that the road narrows, that something is going on ahead of you when you're driving, people will not slow down. It's been anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. I would recommend, if you're really serious about doing this, to consult with Wyndham Regional. They have traffic people on their staff, and for whatever this is worth, I would suggest that.
All right, well, I'll have our Wyndham Regional 2 reps. We'll get in touch with them and have them run that through the office down there and see if they can join us, or if they have information they want to give us of studies they've already done and successes they've had. You guys have been here a lot longer than I have, but East West Road and Mill Road are throughways. They just are. And you'd like everybody to follow the traffic laws, but it gets hard, and I think, we'll see. Yeah, it's a hard problem, but we'll set something up maybe for next month before the first half of the month before the holidays, and see if people want to come in with ideas. 'Cause we may have somebody in town who's a civil engineer who's like, here's what you do. I don't even know who that person is, but he may exist.
But a great point I had thought about narrowing at least the perception of the roads. That's what they do in cities when when the traffic is too fast in cities for pedestrians.
Right.
They narrow it, or they make the perception of it being narrowed, and it's close. Even if it makes it not a straight line, if it more curves, people have to slow down.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, they did that in England. So, all right, thank you for input. Correspondence for discussion. By the way, the sheriff's report's in there if you guys probably read it for the last 2 months.
Oh, yeah, I will.
So community center room usage. I think I started this, so I'll speak on it. There's nobody from the library here. There seems to be a little bleed over from the library to the community room. I don't know, have you gathered up forces to have a...
They're trying to figure out if they can do it Thursday.
Okay, that'd be good.
They're trying to see, because everyone's like, oh, I'm only available on Thursday, and I said I can do it, and we're just waiting
Right.
back. So
You don't need everybody, so
Just
if somebody can't make it.
enough people, I guess.
Yeah. Basically there's the library has spilled out of the 2 front rooms into the community room. So that wasn't the plan. They could have 2 front rooms, right? Because the lease with community center for the most part is null and void for all intents and purposes. So they can have the 2 front rooms. What I'd asked about is what's going on in the back community room, which now seems to have become part of the library, which it wasn't, it isn't, and the plan in the future is it won't be. So I'd like that. Dina did answer some questions.
There's something in the notes here, I thought they addressed that, but yeah, we'll bring it up, we'll make sure to bring it up, because that wasn't the plan.
Right, so as you start the working group, it'll help to just kind of set the stage. But whatever comes out of the working group, you guys are going to come here anyway, whoever it is, and go, hey, this is the best options that we've come up with. If that's one of the options, so be it, but it certainly is not in place now. So I'd sort of like it to go back to the way it was, because at some point we're going to have to present to the town what changes we're coming up with. So that's what that was about.
And who does one contact now to make reservations for any room at the community center?
Well, pretty soon it's going to be me. The problem is we're not moving quite fast enough here. So we need somebody to take over the scheduling. We need somebody to take over paying the bills, making sure it's getting cleaned and all these other things. But that's going to involve getting together with Randy and Lester and finding out where's the money, who's paying the bills, is there a checking account, how's this working? Because right now I don't know that they're doing it, and I don't know who's doing it. Right now there's only 2 people working in there, which is us and the Tai Chi class.
Okay.
So that is, I think, it's just something I'm going to have to do. If we can find somebody, I'll try and find somebody. There were some volunteers I know from friends of Lydia, or Lydia's friends, I always get backwards, I apologize, who were willing to maybe step in and do that. And we probably need to do that while the working group and sessions are going on.
Yeah, we need something immediately.
Yeah. So
And is the working group more than the library trustees? Is it?
Let me double check, because not
Or-
many people had replied.
or
I'll double
is it-
check right now.
Okay.
the goal is it can be anybody,
Okay.
but the board of trustees, Lydia's
I
friends.
believe it was two.
Well, you say the board of trustees and then you say Lydia's friends, and they are actually two different groups,
That's
even
right.
though. So is Lydia's friends going to be involved in the working group?
I would hope so, because my hope is they're going to be involved in the new organization.
And you're
They-
talking about meeting Thursday, you mean tomorrow?
No, sorry, next Thursday.
Okay.
We were waiting for people to confirm. I don't get any reception here. I forget exactly
Yeah,
who was on the list, but I think it was everybody involved with the library and everyone who's still involved with the community center.
And touch base with Lydia's friends too, if you can.
Make sure.
Technically, we still have an active lease with the community center board.
Yeah, we never renew it. Well, it's auto renewing.
It's auto renewing, so it's,
So.
so.
Paul, do you want to take over the community center for 6 months? No, he smiles.
Yeah.
So that's what that was about. All right. So new business town fill dirt policy.
You want somebody younger than me, Todd.
Well, so the town fill dirt policy. So here's the summary of what I know about all this. So the town fill. So there's a zoning permit that costs $65. It's the same zoning permit that's used for everything in town. It's not a town dirt policy specific. It's any zoning requirement in town, you have to come fill out a form and pay $65. Lee had brought up the idea, and Roger had kind of brought it up too, is if, and you guys already know the summary, if the town has a truckload of dirt because they're working on Stickney Brook Road, and someone living in the area is like, I'll take that fill, right? And save you from driving it from point A to point B, paying to dump it, driving back, probably costs more than $65 in town money to do that. The concern about waiving the fee is, are you waiving the fee specifically for the dirt? Are you waiving the fee for the zoning permit as a whole? Which I think you could separate those two things if you wanted to. If you read the zoning part 700, section 700 and 701, I think is what it is, where it has those exceptions for gardening, driveway maintenance, things like that. The concern that Roger has is not really that exemption, it's wetlands and filling in wetlands where there's nobody reviewing what are you doing with the truckload of dirt. I mean, a truckload of town dirt is a little bit bigger than gardening and driveway.
Is anyone doing it even if they're paying a fee? You know,
Well, if they pay the fee, they have to fill out the form.
Right, but does anybody follow up to see
Yeah,
whether
the zoning administrator follows. So if you get a zoning permit, you're going to get, Roger's going to review it. He's going to send you a sign. You got to put it for 2 weeks so everybody can comment on it.
Right.
That applies for everything. So this brings in the problem with it is if you're going to require a permit for it, this isn't something you can do. You're going to need a month lead time. So waiving the fee doesn't do anything. You still have to have the zoning permit if it's anything beyond those exceptions. So the question was, well, how much dirt's too much dirt? How much dirt do we consider more than one would need to do gardening or driveway grading? Right, well, I don't think anybody wants to pick a number because it gets very random, right? So my driveway is 200 feet. The Smiths, who live south of you,
Right.
her driveway's half a mile long. So her dirt's gonna be a lot more dirt
Right.
than my dirt. So can you put a number on it? No. Because it's gonna be different for different things. But that's something that can be assessed when you do your permit, right?
Can you explain what the concern about why you would want to know what someone's going to do with it? Because you think they're going to use it for like building a foundation or something like that, or you think it's going to be something? I know, obviously, filling in.
The big concern is wetlands, vernal pools, things like that. That floodplain.
That people would be
Right.
to
So
fill it in.
I guess as we had a discussion, if I'm not in a floodplain, if my property's not in a floodplain, nor does it have any wetlands, which you can tell by the map, right? Then who cares, right? If your concern is strictly that, then it wouldn't matter for me at all. Nobody'd have to come visit. It's like, I don't care how much dirt you get, right? Anything, as you brought up, anything that already has a permit. So if you're replacing a septic tank, I couldn't come up with a good example if I came up. So you're replacing your septic and you need fill dirt to fill in around the new septic. Well, you don't need to do a permit for the dirt because you have a permit. Anything that's incidental to an already in place permit, you don't need a second permit for.
I don't think you need a town permit to fix your septic tank.
I think you do. I think septic tank rules are pretty wild, but
No, you might
But
need a
there-
wastewater permit from the state, but you don't
Right.
need a town permit
Right.
to replace your septic tank.
I wouldn't think so, but it's already existing. It's just-
Exactly,
Right.
if you're, yeah.
but
You
again,
usually have to put it in a
that's,
different
it's
spot.
the filling in around septic tank is still incidental to something that has been authorized for you to do, whether it's wastewater or whoever you have to go through.
Right.
So maybe it's not a permit from the town in that
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
It could be state waste, whatever. But that's because the idea is, what is incidental to what you're working on? Well, if you have a permit to do work and it's incidental to that work, then that covers that. So you can go back and forth on this a million different ways. So the easy solution is just, if you want dirt, you get a permit.
Yeah, I disagree.
But then you have to wait 2 weeks.
Well,
You can
it's gonna be more
actually
than that
wait
because
much longer than that.
you have to post for 2 weeks. You have to apply for it.
Oh, that's right.
A visit has to take place. The certificate has to be sent to you. But the only thing, and I think this is true, and this is why I asked maybe the planning commission to look into this, because the planning commission oversees all those sections in the Dummerston rules. And if the planning commission says for dirt, for town dirt, we're going to say you don't need a permit, then I think it needs to be changed. We can waive the fee. The fee's within our realm. So we could say you don't have to pay for $65 for dirt that is conveniently dropped in your place because we don't want it and we don't need it and we're doing work. That doesn't eliminate the fact that it's going to take 30 days. You still have to have the permit. We're only waiving the fee. If you want to change the permit, that's different. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Which means Lee would have to go out
Twice.
30 days in advance or 45 minutes, start knocking on doors.
Yeah, that's
And you
just
never
not-
know when, you know,
Yeah,
you don't know when when they're gonna be there ditching.
Yeah.
Lee doesn't probably know either.
right.
Because with that process, you'd have to leave it for like
I-
a month
I-
and then wait to go back and that defeats
And it
our
actually-
purpose.
If they submit a permit application.
Yep.
The zoning administrator has 30 days.
Yep.
And he has to review it. Then if he approves it, they have to post it for 15 days.
Yep.
Then that's the appeal process. So a neighbor could appeal it.
Yep.
Then it goes to the DRB. So they have another 30 days to schedule. Then they have 45 days to make a decision.
Okay.
Then it still gets a 15-day appeal process if they want to appeal it to the state. So the whole process could take months.
Right.
Meanwhile, Lee's sitting on his hands waiting to dig ditches.
Right.
That does not make any sense to me at all.
So, do you guys have a meeting coming up?
We have one on Monday.
You have it on a Monday.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that we as a select board can determine that there's no permit required for dirt. Based on so everything, as we talked about before, is a bit nebulous in the writing. So that it's up to interpretation of what somebody's doing or not doing with dirt. Yeah?
Well, I mean, I brought it up because they saw the correspondence, and I told them that we had voted to eliminate the permit and the fee,
Right.
and that Roger asked us to reconsider it. We did. We stood behind it.
Well, we didn't make another motion. We left it what it was.
Exactly.
I
Right.
think he's correct on this. We can eliminate the fee. We can't eliminate the permit. Because
But
the permit has to be decided by somebody. So even though there's exceptions, somebody has to show up and go, this dirt meets the exception of you not needing permits. So somebody has to do that, right? Because it has exceptions. So if somebody says, give me this fill dirt, and you just go, okay, you can have it, what if it doesn't meet one of the exceptions? Then they can't have it without a permit.
So what if it's their own dirt? What if it's in front of your house and you'd say, I want to keep my dirt?
I can keep my dirt because I'm not bringing any dirt in. I can do whatever I want.
So how do you determine? Yeah. How do you make it fair?
Right, but
they're still loading on a truck and
backing in your yard to dump it.
Sure, but this is the town doing it. I mean, obviously, we got into this too, the town versus private, right? If the town municipality is delivering, I don't know, 30 cubic, what is it measured in? Yards?
Yeah.
Of dirt to some property, you probably want to know what's that dirt going to be used for. Is it filling in wetlands? Because you're right, you could do whatever you want. I could fill in wetlands on my land without anybody knowing.
Anybody could, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't need a permit for that. But if I'm gonna bring something in from off-site of some amount, which we haven't determined, right? Is it a pickup truck load? Is it more than 4 cubic yards? Is it less than 4 cubic yards? So I guess what I'm asking you is this. Why have the exceptions in the bylaws if it doesn't matter? They're written for a reason, to have the exceptions for not needing a permit.
Yeah.
And so somebody has to verify whether that exception applies or not. And it could be, I don't know who it would be, if it's Roger or the board, or you rewrite the bylaw that says anything more than 4 cubic meters.
Well, what if the road foreman just, they're working here and you say, hey, I can use that dirt. The road foreman goes in and says, where do you want to dump it? And it's not in a wetland, then why not approve it? Why not let him do it?
Right.
So leave it up to
Who's approving it though?
The road foreman, or whether it be
The
Lee or the
road foreman doesn't get to do that. That's the problem. I mean, there's a bylaw that's written that says this is when you need a zoning permit, and here are the exceptions. So am I relying on Lee to open up his book and know, one, is this a wetland? Is this a vernal pool? Is that up to Lee to figure out?
I mean, they're pretty obvious, in my mind. A vernal pool or a wetland is a pretty obvious location.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, if they're working, within a half a mile, it's not your dirt, but the guy that owns the land doesn't want it, the town doesn't want it, so why not take it and fill a woodchuck hole?
Right, exactly.
Right.
I don't think that there's nothing specifically in zoning that says you have to get a permit for this excavated fill dirt. So, and I don't think that the original writers of zoning intended to put this type of a cumbersome permit process on residents.
Right.
To keep their own dirt, or if the neighbor wants it, or if somebody half a mile down the road wants it. I mean, it's still saving the town money, because all of it would have to be trucked to our gravel pit on Route 5. So if they're working way over on Stickney Brook Road or Sunset Lake Road, they're trucking it all the way, probably, depending on what they're using.
Get across the bridge or not, yeah.
Yeah, so they're probably trucking it into Brattleboro, all the way up Route 5, dumping it, and going all the way back.
And then they have to do something with it at some point.
At some point. Yeah.
So I'm playing devil's advocate here. So why do we have bylaws? If basically the idea is we've written a bylaw that literally discusses gardening purposes or driveway grading as an exception, there has to be something or someone who makes that determination. Or there's no reason having zoning bylaws at all, because it's your property, you can do what you want on it. And that's not true.
If I call up a company in Brattleboro that supplies material, and I want to fix my yard, do I have to go get a permit for that? Just because it's...
I don't know, do you?
No, there's no way.
No, they shouldn't. I'm saying, do you?
No. Nobody does.
Why? There's literally an exception written to the bylaw that says that if you're using more dirt...
So what's the difference if a company in Brattleboro is delivering me dirt, or if it's the town of Dummerston delivering me dirt?
It is still your responsibility.
I think Todd's saying there is no difference. You're supposed
There is no difference. It is your responsibility as a landowner
to go get a permit
to make sure you don't need a permit. No, to make sure you don't need a permit for it.
I don't.
Okay. So back to my next question: why do we have zoning bylaws at all? Do you look at the zoning bylaws and say I need a permit or not? Or are you just saying I don't need a permit?
Well, I think that most people are going to assume that if they're fixing their lawn or fixing their driveway, that they're not going to need a permit for that.
There's people that are going to assume that if I'm expanding my deck, I don't need a permit either, but they do.
Yeah.
So you're using your experience.
Yeah, I think
you're using your experience on the zoning board to say I know when I need and don't need a permit. But not everybody has that.
I could replace my deck, and if it's exactly the same size as what I have right now, I don't need a permit.
You know that. Does everybody else know that?
Yeah,
I found out a month ago.
But again, you've been exposed.
If it looks the same, it's the same. You don't have to.
Right.
So what is the adjudication body for zoning bylaws, or whether you need a permit or not? Who or what is that? It has to be somebody, and it can't. The landowner is supposed to find out whether they need a permit or not for anything they do. That's beyond the exception, right? So if they're not sure whether an exception means exception, they have to ask somebody. So that somebody has to make an adjudication going, no, you do have to have it, or you don't have to have it. So that step has to be done.
Yeah,
So somebody has to have the responsibility for that.
and that's Roger.
And that's Roger. And that's what he's saying. Now, whether it meets the exception or not, it's been vaguely written, so there's no measure or weight or amount or whatever. But if you believe that every person in town knows where their vernal pools are, or if they're in a floodplain or not in a floodplain, I think we're expecting more from everybody to know. I mean, I don't know if I'm in a floodplain. Right? I'm assuming I'm not, because I'm top of the hill.
You
right?
would know.
You probably know because insurance and stuff like that.
Insurance will tell you that.
Yeah,
So, I mean, what we're discussing at this point is Todd decides I need a bunch of fill dirt. Lee's got a bunch of fill dirt. I say, Lee, give it to me. Lee's not responsible for enforcing the zoning laws.
right.
I'm responsible to go ask whether I need a permit or not. And if that's going to be the case, that I need a permit, we're into the at least 6 weeks, if not 6 months,
Oh,
which eliminates the whole process of what we're trying to do. So,
So
the
you should put
bylaw,
the onus on the landowner.
I think it's the landowner's responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I build a carport, which I did, and I don't have a permit for it, and the listers come through or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, we were here 4 years ago. Now there's a new carport and a shed." They're not just going to go, "Oh well." They're going to tell me, "Did you get a permit for those? Because there are changes, and we don't have a record of those changes." Roger's going to show up and go, "You didn't apply for a permit," and I'm going to get fined and have to get a permit, take it down, whatever I have to do. I don't know what the outcomes are. So, yeah, the landowner is the responsible party to check to see whether they need a zoning permit or not. Now, what people know or don't know about the laws, decks, no decks, carports, sheds, outbuildings, whatever, I don't know. That's why they have the bylaws, right? The best option being is that the landowner would ask the zoning administrator. But you run the same, so that expands the.
But there's probably a lot of construction or whatever you want to call it that's gone on that they've never gotten a permit for.
Yep, that's right.
And
But that's not. But as a town, we're not just going to go. Half the stuff in town doesn't have a permit, so let's just let it go free the rest of the way.
But I just don't think that. I think it's a little overreach to think that if somebody wants to fix their lawn or their driveway and get a load of dirt that's been excavated along the ditching and they're in front of their house, to think that they're going to have to research if they need to go get a permit or not. That's just not going to happen.
Right. So.
And to think that we're going to require that and tell them that, oh yeah, and this could be a 4-month process.
Right. So.
What's going to happen is if that's what is decided, then people are going to say, Lee, you can't ditch the road in front of my house. And then if we don't ditch the road in front of the house because it's done through grants through the state of Vermont, and we have a major storm come through and we lose that road, we lose our ability to be reimbursed from FEMA for the repairs to that road.
Okay, so we're reading way ahead into this.
Yeah.
I don't think people can say you can't work the culverts and ditch the roads.
I don't know.
There's a right of way, I would think, that the town has.
That the town has.
So that they can do whatever work they need
Yeah.
to within that right of way, but, roads go like this and right of ways go straight, so.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a gray area.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I mean, the town has a right of way, but the property owner still owns the property.
That's right.
Yeah, still paying taxes on it.
That's right.
Right. All right, so there you go.
So are you saying that the bylaw needs to be changed then? It doesn't help in the short term, but longer term, is that one way to address it, to change the bylaw?
I think that the planning commission needs to look at it and decide what they want it to say, so that it can be enforced or not enforced or whatever. But that involves, you're gonna have the same discussions, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much dirt is too much dirt? How much dirt's not too much dirt? Do you want to put a number on it where it limits?
I don't know how you can put it, because your yard might be the size of this table, and my yard might be the size of Dummerston Center.
Yep, exactly.
So how do you say 1 yard, 100 yards? What's
I think I don't think that's a viable option. But something has to, for this purpose, which is a very specific purpose, right? There has to be something that talks about the enforcement mechanism and how that's going to work, the zoning mechanism. Otherwise, And that, I think that's probably why they originally wrote it, they didn't put a number on it. For the exact same things we come up with, it's like, well, I don't know, right? If somebody says, I'm gonna grade my driveway, somebody looks at it and goes, yeah, a truckload of dirt grading a driveway, that's fine, just don't put it in a waterway. But there have been situations where people were filling in waterways on their property with dirt. So,
Yeah, I mean,
so the choice is either to write a usable product or just let it become the Wild West. And again, I don't think it's Lee's job to know the rules, to enforce the rules, to say yes, to say no. I think Lee can say, you have to check with the zoning administrator, right? And maybe there's a shorter process where Lee's going to deliver dirt, somebody says, I want it. He goes, go check with the zoning administrator so they can make sure that you can have this, that you're not on a floodplain or whatever your driveway. And that can be a yes or no at that moment without doing a full permit.
But chances are you're not gonna get it the day that they're doing the work.
no. So
Well,
it's,
Lee does know, he does have some headway. He knows when he's going to work in a certain area.
Right.
But that involves him knocking on doors to see who wants the dirt. When usually what happens is most likely he's got a truck of dirt and somebody sees it and goes, I want that dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
So the writing of the bylaw, and I read it a lot, and what is the mechanism for zoning permission and enforcement, which we know it's the zoning administrator. If we want something other than that, eliminating the fee doesn't matter. It's the permit that's a real long haul, right? Obviously somebody would pay $65 to get 30 metric yards, cubic yards of dirt, because that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I'd pay $65 30 yards.
Right. So I don't think the fee is the prohibitive part. I think it's obviously the zoning permit.
right.
It's required, and
Yeah.
making a determination on when you do and don't need a permit. So there we are.
But we also have, if somebody's building a house,
Mhm.
we have no, it's that they're supposed, they know that they're supposed to have a permit.
Right.
If they don't go apply for a permit, the enforcement is the neighbor turns them in.
Sure, or the first time you have to do a tax evaluation. Nobody's turned
Or
anybody.
the listers show up, exactly.
Yeah, the listers show up,
Right.
right, and there's
Or if something
mechanisms.
if something gets changed on a property, that's just the way it is.
Right.
If they don't go apply for a permit,
Right.
we can't have Roger going property to property
Right.
policing everybody.
Right, which he doesn't. I think he gets it through listers or through people, like in the West Village when somebody built a 2-car or 2-story garage in place of a 1-story garage. Like a neighbor's like, that thing's huge. It's twice as big as it was. Is this legal? Or is it permitted? And yes, it was permitted, right? So, yeah, neighbors are obviously going to have something to say if it's something they can see that's affecting them. The listers, when they're listing, and taxes are going to reveal changes. Or, I don't know that you're going to, build a big structure or house and nobody know about it.
No.
And again, for the exception, if somebody's building a house, they have a permit to build a house. So
Right.
They have a $65 permit to build a house and they could dump their dirt
Wherever they want.
so.
that's right. 'Cause it's incidental
Yeah, exactly.
to a permit they already have. Right. It's when it's not incidental to a permit that's already in place. And there's 3 things in the exception, which is 3 lines in the exception specific to it is gardening, driveways, and or incidental to approved uses. That I assume means you have a permit to do whatever. In this instance. But of course, you can't have a permit to build a septic tank and say, incidental to that septic tank, I want 600 cubic yards of dirt.
Right, but who's gonna follow up on it?
Right.
It's like,
Yes.
All right, so we beat that to death, and I don't know where to go with it. I think you should tap into your planning commission and see what they have to say about it, and have the same discussion over and over again.
Yeah.
So I've already had it like 3 times,
Mhm.
and I can continue to come up with. And again, bylaws and laws in general aren't written specifically for one person, one item, one
No.
event. It's supposed to be
No.
fairly broad, and they're written
It's-
broadly.
and that's exactly how they're supposed to be written.
Yeah.
And, and there's exemptions for a reason.
Yep. So can I refer that to you guys to chit chat about?
Sure.
All right. I can't believe Paul and Jody are still here through all that. All right. Request for Green Mountain Mummers to perform on the Common Sunday, the 26th of October from 12 noon. I think they're there for a couple hours. They've sent us an email. They do this every year. It's for
Yeah.
something. So I make a motion we approve the request from the Green Mountain Mummers to perform on the Common Sunday, October 26th at noon.
Second it.
Any discussion on the Mummers? All those in favor of allowing the Mummers to perform on the Common on Sunday, October 26th at noon, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against? I'm going to bring Marvin Luna up before we do the liquor license. So the Lydia Taft Pratt Board of Trustees voted to appoint Marvin Luna to the Board of Trustees until next town meeting, and then he'll have to take out a petition to be reelected, or to be elected, I guess, the first time. Since they've made the decision on Marvin, having talked to him, we're just approving his appointment to the Lydia Taft Pratt Board of Trustees. So I'll make a motion that we approve Marvin Luna's appointment to the Lydia Taft Pratt Board of Trustees.
I'll second it.
All right, any further discussion on that? All right, all those in favor of appointing Marvin Luna to the Lydia Taft Pratt Board of Trustees until next time meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against? All right,
All right, so I'll make a motion that we recess the meeting and convene as the Liquor Control Board.
I'll second. All those in favor of reconvening as Liquor Control Board, say aye.
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 All right, we're now the Liquor Control Board. Everybody change clothes. So we're approving the second class. Is this an annual? I assume it's an annual.
Probably.
Renewing the second class liquor license for the Circle K on Route 30.
I'll make a motion that we approve the second class liquor license for Circle K on Route 30.
All right, I'll second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor of approving the second class liquor license for Circle K on Route 30, say aye.
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 Aye. All those against?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn as the Liquor Control Board and reconvene the meeting.
Second.
All right. All those in favor of reconvening the regular meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, ARPA updates, anything interesting or no one you know?
I haven't
All
heard
right,
from anybody.
discussion with the Community Center Board of Library Trustees, they're not here, which is fine. Will update us, you can update us, next week.
Hopefully it happens Thursday. I'm still waiting.
All right. I will talk to Wyndham Regional reps about the traffic get together. When Paul's back, I'll have him get together and set a time for people to come talk and vent and discuss possible options for traffic control.
Could you invite a representative from the Sheriff's Department to come
Yes.
to that meeting too?
The sheriff would be happy to come, so
Good.
we'll coordinate with him.
Good.
Because he'll have some insights
Yeah.
on this. This is what he does for a living.
I,
Yes,
could I ask another question, please? Jody, we're in the same room now.
I know. I see that. I see you blurred Paul out.
Did you speak about the letter that came to you for the library, under the library thing?
The community center.
Which
The
topic?
community, the email that came to you.
The community center.
For the big room?
Did you say what it was?
For the big room, are you talking about? And the stuff in the big room? No, the community center, the email community center usage was something I initiated with the library. And I gave a summary of what I'd asked for from the library within.
Okay. But the email was questioning what was happening?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. We're not going to work on the budget tonight because there's an episode of Survivor. Usually somebody check their watch. We have a budget meeting next Wednesday, followed by a regular meeting 2 weeks from tonight, and then 3 weeks from tonight will be a special town meeting, and we'll do budget. It'll be budget and special town meeting combined. Is there anything anyone else wants to bring up?
Who will you be having next week for the budget hearing? Are there one or two specific groups?
I think did you ask the library and the fire department?
Oh, you were.
Oh, yeah, the library and the fire department will be here.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Oh,
Because I want to give them, direction on what to expect when they show up. So I don't expect them to come with the budget next week, but they have it, great. But I want them to have direction on when you show up. We want operating expenses, we want fundraising, we want whatever. And we'd like the documents a couple days before you show up.
and what is the deadline for various groups to submit the budget?
Next Wednesday.
Oh,
But what's the real deadline?
Well, the initial one that they should all be submitting a budget to
Next
start
Wednesday.
with.
Next
Okay,
Wednesday.
okay.
I know we've got some, and the listers are gonna be sending theirs,
Okay.
so. There should be 4 warrants to sign. I'll sign the minutes. I think that's it. There was anything else we need to sign. All right, I'll move we adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right.